Welcome back to my little reading journal thing. Today I am talking about Moon of the Turning Leaves by Waubgeshig Rice, the second book or the sequel to Moon of the Crusted Snow, which was one of my favorite books that I read recently. This book takes place, in the years since. So it takes place long enough for a toddler age child of the main character to become a teenager. Maybe 12 to 15 years, 10 to 15 years. So the community from the first book, which was in northern Canada, moves a little bit south in this book and creates a new settlement. And they last, like I said, 10 to 15 years, but resources are running out. They're a little bit too big for the area, and they're overfishing a little bit. It's a small lake. They're overhunting a little bit. So they realize that they do need to try to find a place with more abundant resources, or they will not be able to sustain the population that they have. So Evan, the main character from the first book, and his teenage daughter Nangons join and create a search party. A search party to try and find their ancestral homeland on the Great Lakes of Canada. They know it's going to be hard, but they're also very, very adept to living off the land and living on the move. It's a months-long journey because they're walking through the bush. It's been 10 to 15 years. What trails would have been are gone. Roads are crumbling. Railways are, overgrown. So they have to basically bushwhack all the way from northern Canada down to Lake Huron. It turns out that they're not the only people left. There are other people. They get into a couple skirmishes with some worse characters. Some people who want to restart the world with their own rules and don't really take kindly to Indigenous people. So they get into a couple skirmishes. There's a couple gunfights and stuff like that. But the most important parts of this book, at least to me, are the spiritual journeys of the characters coming back home, both metaphorically and literally finding their homeland. Really going back to the old way of living, which is a oneness with nature. A couple of the characters in the book die, and the author portrays their death in a very holistic way. Because that mentality is present in all of the characters in the book, they take it in a very different way than, some other books that you read where that character is gone in the other books. In this one, the characters are with them forever in nature. Everything is one. So that was really cool. When they finally make it to their ancestral homeland, they are greeted by other members of the Anishinaabe tribe, and they are taken in as family, even though they've never met. It wasn't, to me, it didn't sink its teeth into me in the same way that the first book did. I think that's just because I am a fan of post-apocalyptic stuff. This was more just a group of people hiking through the forest. So for some people, maybe it could be a little bit boring, but I really, really enjoyed it. I think I rated it a 4 out of 5. If you're interested in Indigenous cultures mixed with post-apocalyptic escapades, I can't recommend Waubgeshig Rice enough, and both of the Moon novels.